So most people will never really find out whether or not you're the one simply because you never give them space. The problem is this: most people operate under two types of modes, right? Either one on the offense, which is making the first move, right? The issue with that is that you risk pushing people away and losing control over your behavior. The second mode of operation that most people do is on the defensive, where you're always being backed into corners, you're always feeling impatient, reacting to the other person, and projecting your own emotions onto the other person. The goal for you guys should be to blend both defense and offense, which I call the Napoleonic method, right? Where you first make the first move to get them to chase, which means opening up or even literally making the first move or even literally expressing how much you like them. There's nothing wrong with that, people. Like, seriously. And then you get on the defense by pulling away, right? And luring them to chase. And the reason why that is because your initial offense gives them permission to, if you pull away, if they really like you, they're going to chase, right? So you give them a sense of losing you through distance and space, not being responsive to their romanticism. The non-engagement stage is when they realize how much they actually love you. Is when they realize that you're the one. People don't realize you're the one when you are on offense. They don't. People don't realize that you're the one when you are defensive, because when you're defensive, it makes people feel insecure. When you're defensive, they sense that you're not really listening to them, right? They start realizing that you're the one when you all of a sudden create space, especially if you have had a history of chasing, especially if you have had a history of closing the gaps. That's when this creates that reaction. The non-engagement stage is when they realize that you're the one. Then once they're weakened because you're not engaging with them, then you could instantly counter with an offensive move and validate them, right? So you make the first move, offense. You pull away, defense. Once you've seen that they've reacted to your pulling away, because that's the non-engagement stage of the relationship, and you should always have moments of non-engagement. The reason why that is simple. Whenever you don't engage with the enemy, they get infuriated. They start to reveal to you their cards. That's why Napoleon lost the war against Russia. Napoleon wanted to defeat Russia, and Napoleon had the firepower to defeat them. The way that Russia fought them was through non-engagement. They became slippery, they became mobile, and they got Napoleon to chase them for a battle, and they continually avoided Napoleon because his strength was in maneuvering. The strength of the Russians was that they had a bunch of different supply networks throughout Russia, and all they had to do was not let Napoleon reach them. So this is what happens. You let people realize that they have some form of power over you through being honest, through letting them know that you actually like them, through making dates, through saying yes to the meetups. After a month or two, or even before that, you have to disengage. Whenever you disengage, you give people space to think. You give people space to realize what truly matters. People only start to reflect on their lives when there's nothing going on. When they've been defeated and they have nothing else to do but to think, and they're in prison, for example, they have nothing else but to think. That's when they start to realize who was important. The brain has that tendency to only reveal to you things that really matters to you only when there's an absence of things going on around you, or the people realize that you're the one only in your absence. People never realize that a lot of people end up not knowing they like someone when they wake up in the morning. When you have a moment of no thought, and then you wake up and you realize you just like this person. It was only during the moment of the silent night sleep that those types of realizations arise. And it comes through you non-engaging. But the issue with a lot of you guys is, you guys don't operate that way. You guys either operate in offense or defense. You're either butthurt that they're not chasing you, or you're chasing them too hard. And because you're not giving them that space, you're not trading space for time because of your own insecurities, because you're thinking about, are they leaving me, or are they going to find somebody else? You're on the defensive. You're trying to protect your ego. This strategy is where you're not doing nothing while knowing that this does something. If that makes any sense, right? Because isolation fucks with you. Isolation causes the person to think of their biggest fear. Isolation causes somebody to think about what they don't want a lot. When you are alone, about to be sentenced to a prison sentence, the isolation hurts more than anything, simply because by you being alone, the worst thoughts will arise. And in this case, the worst thought is you leaving them. Why aren't you there? Notice how this non-action is an offense in and of itself, if that makes any sense. So the key is to get them to make the first move so that they get tired and open up to your move. So when you're not there, their brain is splitting up from the inside. Their ranks are being divided. They have divided leadership. They don't know what to do. So what they do is that they revert back to their natural tendencies that they've learned as children. They revert to their childlike state of mind. They regress. You affect a regression when you're through the non-engagement strategy. And with that regression, it increases the imagination. It makes them weak. And in their minds, you become more attractive. So what do? They start to do the things that they've learned as a child when the parents are not paying attention, to get attention. And this differs from person to person, but you will notice it's going to be a poignant upward in them trying to get your attention. Or they may behave in ways you never thought they would. I thought they were more confident. I thought they had more swag. And now all of a sudden they're like puppies waiting for your reaction. You have full control over them. And don't be surprised when this happens, because what this does, it weakens people's willpower. And then their brain will start to see you as the one if you're really the one. So now once they've been weakened, they think that something's wrong. They think maybe they did something. Now they're more open to your suggestion. Then you counter with another move. You validate them. Hey, I'm sorry, I've been busy. Hey, my love, I'm so sorry. I've been doing this. I really like you. I would love to see you. Let me make it up to you. What should we do now? And that has a deeper and more profound effect on the person. And because of the feeling that you give them, the sense of validation, you lifting them up from the darkness of their minds, their brain the feeling you give them will make them think, oh my God, nobody has ever made me feel this way. You must be the one. But you can't do this unless you don't follow the first step, which is master yourself. Master your emotion, particularly your tendency to become emotional. By developing patience, your options expand, which can then give you more energy and unstoppable momentum. Now, how do you develop that? Well, one, you guys can purchase my course, Emotional Mastery. It's in the meditation retreat. I had the odd sensation to just lower the price to $99. And the reason why I made it so expensive is because, it took me years to make that course. But in the meditation retreat, I just realized, you know what, man? Like, I think a lot of people deserve to watch this course. So because of that, I just lowered it to $99 for you guys, man. And honestly, it just came down in the meditation retreat. I just sensed that I had to do that. So, yeah. So you first master yourself by purchasing that course, Emotional Mastery, checking out this book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or going to a 10-day Vipassana retreat. You Google it on how to go to one of those retreats. It's donation based. But you first master yourself, and you treat meditation as a spiritual practice, right? Actually, I may include a snippet of my course, Emotional Mastery, where I talk about this particular part, right? All right, people, we're going to go to a quick commercial break where I introduce you guys my new upcoming course, Emotional Mastery, The Feminine Woman. Check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life. This is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces. One is 8, 19, and one is 14, 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're gonna be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man, Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one would teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace, and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship, and this a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. I'm closing the channel. So once you do that, taking advantage of other people's mistakes. You could take advantage of other people's mistakes because the non-engagement strategy causes people to really confront themselves and say to themselves, do I really like this person? Is this person worthy of my suffering? And a lot of the times their ego will lie to them, right? So this is 50-50. This is why this strategy, you have to see if whether or not when you come back, the person stays consistent, because sometimes their ego is hurt. And so it'll look the same, but they're the one when you do this, and you don't have to do this a few months later. You don't. The desire to do this does not come from, oh, they're acting uninterested, I got to do this. It's more so, let me do this for maintenance, if that makes sense. Because you got to think about it. In everything in life, you have to retreat from time to time. Retreating is not a sign of weakness. Retreating is a sign of strength. Napoleon should have retreated when he noticed that his resources were being stretched thin, because Russia is so vast and has so many different terrains that are difficult to navigate, even for Napoleon. So many people don't know the art of creating space. Like me leaving to a meditation retreat causes me to see things from a different perspective. You leaving that person temporarily causes you to see them from a different perspective, and vice versa. Our perspectives of people get hardened over time, and the way to reverse that natural attrition is through periodic momentary spaces where you are not engaging with them, where you maybe go to a 10-day meditation retreat, or maybe you go out on vacation with your friends, but don't include that person with them. Don't include them. Leave them out so that they can think and have time for themselves. Or maybe you say or even explicitly demand your own personal time without them. The point is, this is when people start to realize where you stand in their minds. But also, it causes them. You can also take advantage, because you could easily cause them to make mistakes, and those mistakes are things to your advantage, where they exactly tell you how they feel, which is something most people just don't want to do, because they're usually on the defensive. Then taking advantage of other people's mistakes, and then clearly during difficult moments, just remember you have to stay calm during your counterattacks, while the other person becomes frustrated and emotional. Oh my God, where you been? I missed you. And what you got to do is stay calm, stay relaxed. Don't over pursue, or sometimes don't break the silence. This is important, people. This is a natural course of life that you guys have to integrate and embrace in your relationships. You need to create some distance from time to time. If you guys are fighting, if you notice that this person is not taking you for granted, apply the non-engagement strategy. Get them to get them to find out what's wrong, and then validate them. This is how you keep these types of things hot and spicy long term, right? Look, man, even like ask anyone who smokes weed. If you smoke weed every day, you're not gonna get high every day. You need space from the drug. Anything in life, you need space, especially if you're getting tired of things. This is natural, people. What the fuck? Like, you think somebody's always gonna want to see you all the time? Calm down. All right. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to learn more about these strategies, click on the description down below where you guys can purchase my courses. And that's where you guys can get more information about these types of tips. No other dating coach talks about the type of stuff. All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.